Imagine a university basement transformed into a prison. It's 1971, and a groundbreaking psychological experiment is about to begin at Stanford University. Students are randomly assigned roles, some as guards, some as prisoners. What began as a controlled study of human behavior quickly spirals into a terrifying demonstration of power, authority, and human cruelty. The purpose was simple, or so it seemed. Psychologist Philip Zimbardo wanted to explore how ordinary people could commit extraordinary acts of cruelty when placed in positions of authority. The volunteers were carefully screened, all seemingly normal, average college students. No one could predict the psychological storm about to unfold. From day one, the atmosphere was tense. Prisoners were stripped of their identity, assigned numbers, and forced to wear smocks and caps. Their guards, given sunglasses, uniforms, and batons, were suddenly in control. They had power, rules, and a setting that encouraged domination. The boundaries between role-playing and reality began to blur almost immediately. By the second day, the experiment had already deviated from expectations. Guards invented new forms of punishment, psychological intimidation, arbitrary rules, and humiliation became routine. Prisoners who resisted were isolated, stripped, and subjected to verbal abuse. Anxiety, fear, and helplessness spread quickly through the basement cells. What shocked everyone was the speed and intensity of the transformation. Students who had once been friendly and ordinary displayed sadistic behavior. Others, once confident and assertive, crumbled under the pressure. The line between observer and participant was crossed as the experimenter, Zimbardo himself, became so absorbed in the study that he failed to intervene. Authority was absolute, and humanity began to erode. The experiment was originally planned for 2 weeks. It ended after just 6 days. The psychological damage was undeniable. Prisoners suffered emotional breakdowns, extreme stress, and feelings of helplessness. Guards admitted feeling exhilaration from exercising power, but also guilt and shame for their cruelty. The study revealed a chilling truth. The situation, not inherent evil, could drive ordinary people to commit acts they never imagined. The consequences of the Stanford Prison Experiment extend far beyond the university basement. It challenged assumptions about human nature, sparked debates in ethics, and reshaped how psychologists view power dynamics and authority. It's a stark reminder that context matters and that under certain conditions, ordinary people can do extraordinary harm or endure extraordinary suffering. Even decades later, the Stanford Prison Experiment serves as a cautionary tale. It compels us to ask uncomfortable questions. How far would we go if given unchecked power? How would we respond if stripped of identity and autonomy? The answers are unsettling, but essential to understand if we are to prevent the repetition of such human cruelty in any form, anywhere.